question from a week or so ago from Raimar asks, messages received in deep meditation and in dreams from the soul sometimes seemingly appear to be in conflict. Should one consider a hierarchy in experiencing this, or is this a misunderstanding of separate forces intertwined, both leading home?
Well, you know, it's a high art to actually interpret dream images and visionary messages, etc. And it's very easy for the ego to appropriate an interpretation that serves its own concepts. But I think when everything is understood, there is no contradiction, but it must be kept in mind at all times that the infinite mind contains everything, including contradictions that are resolvable when there is a complete surrender to how they apply in a given moment. Because what may be true in one moment and the very next moment may require an entirely different understanding. In the same way that when you are piloting a sailboat, sometimes you will have to tack and then suddenly you will have to turn the sail and the rudder in another direction and respond to the winds of change. And the same is true for the wisdom that comes to help navigate those winds. So I hope that's of some help.
Thank you once again. It's been very valuable having these teachings. I have an obstacle that's been coming up, and I feel it relates to this kiln that you were speaking of. And these tendencies to choose the unreal, let's say, that come up in meditation, which is what I feel that I will sit and there's a motivation, but very often it can be a thought, whatever kind of thought, a lazy thought, a thought about jouissance, and I feel the energy go to chakra 2. Mm-hmm. And that has been recently the thing that has caused like the kiln to leak. And I'm wondering how to overcome that, because then where my mind goes is, okay, I'm going to focus very strongly to not let that happen, but then I feel that that focus at the same time inhibits the surrender of opening the heart. And I feel like there's it's kind of a technical problem, a confusion, a psychological confusion that perhaps has to do with the postmodern ego not understanding the difference between love and desire as well. And so I'm wondering if you have any advice on that.
Well, first of all, this hermetically sealed vessel means that you have sealed your consciousness from thought. Mm-hmm. It's not that you have thoughts, it's that you keep your mind free of thoughts. And you keep it free of thoughts long enough to burn the tendencies to interpret signifiers in a way that take you to the lower assemblage points. And instead, there are downloads of wisdom that will raise you to higher assemblage points. And that's the purpose of keeping the vessel sealed, because as the heat of that refusal to think and to keep the mind in stillness burns away the sanskaras, the tendency to have such thoughts will disappear, and the consciousness will remain ever more naturally and effortlessly in a higher chakra state, where the heart is open and the intellect is able to receive wisdom directly, and there is the willpower to take action in accord with that. Until those higher chakras have been lined up and are all activated, the work of purification has not yet been completed. And so there has to be a different kind of intention that is that motivates the meditative practice. And that intention is the annihilation of the ego, right? The complete cremation of it, the absolute, this is what the Sufis called fana, right? And it's annihilated by love and by bliss, but it requires a will to sacrifice everything one thinks one is, and every attachment that ego has to the world, to others, to its fantasies, to its whole bucket list of desires, and allow all of that to burn away. Only then will this power of yoga to remain liberated from all illusion and karma be granted as the grace that results as a consequence of that self-giving of all that one is and loves to God.
Thank you. That makes it a lot more clear. And then in this staying free from thoughts, that energy, that heat, in a way, makes the surrender happen automatically. It's not like one has to surrender as an action, but it...
That's already a surrender. If you are able to keep thoughts away out of service of God in order to be purified and filled by God consciousness, then the surrender has taken place, but it must be completed. It must be endured. The purification is very painful to the ego. It's more painful than anything the ego could imagine, because you're destroying your own hopes. You're destroying your own enjoyment. You're destroying your own egoic sense of existence to that higher power that is beyond existence and non-existence and cannot be known, and therefore there is no guarantee that the ego can put in its pocket that this will, result in a worthwhile exchange for what was given away. Right? It's not a quid pro quo. It's an unconditional sacrifice. Swaha.
I'll be taking that in.
I hope so. And then you'll bring it out. After fana comes baka in the Sufi tradition, right? The fana brings you to the ascent into God consciousness. And then that must be fully embodied and lived as an avatar or an avaduta, or a being who is a transceiver of that power of presence. Blessings for that.
Thank you.
Namaste.
There's a question from Shanti Mani who asks, does the soul make decisions based on emotions?
Emotion? No. Emotion is at the ego level only. The soul has feeling, but not emotion. And that feeling is divine love. And the love creates generosity, And because it's a love of beauty, of goodness, of purity, and of intelligence, all of those aspects of God consciousness that it loves will saturate the soul's essence.